ओम साई राम, ओम साई राम, ओम साई राम। श्री सच्चिदानंद सदगुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। श्री सच्चिदानंद सदगुरु साई करुणानंद महाराज की जय। श्री सच्चिदानंद सदगुरु जगत गुरु बाल योगीराज साई नारायण महाराज की जय। साई लीलावती माता की जय। Sri Sai Satcharitra Chapter 41. Story of the picture, stealing the rags and reading of Dhaneshwari. As stated in the last chapter, we continue here the story of the picture. 9 years after the incident described in the last chapter, Ali Muhammad met Himarpand again and related to him the following story. One day, while wandering in the streets of Mumbai, he bought the picture from a street hawker. Then he got it framed and set it on a wall of his in his house at Bandra, suburb of Mumbai. As he loved Baba daily, he took darshan of it. 3 months before he gave the picture to Himarpan, he was suffering from an abscess, a swelling on his leg, for which an operation was performed. He was convalescing in the house of his brother-in-law, Mr. Noor Muhammad Peer Boy in Mumbai. For 3 months, his house in Bandra was closed and nobody was living there. Only the pictures of the Baba Abdul Rahman, Maulana Sahib Muhammad Hussain, Sai Baba, Baba Tajuddin, and a few other saints living were there. The wheel of time did not even spare these. All the pictures met their fate, but how Sai Baba picture escaped it, nobody had been able to explain to me up till now. It shows the all-pervasiveness, omniscience of Sai and his inscrutable power. The story goes like this. He had a small picture of Sant Baba Abdul Rahman from his Muhammad Hussain Topan many years ago. He gave it to his brother-in-law Noor Muhammad P. Boy, and it was lying on his table for 8 years. Once a letter took it to a photographer and got it enlarged to life size and distributed copies of the same amongst his relations and friends, including Ali Muhammad, who fixed it up in the Bandra house. Noor Muhammad was a disciple of Saint Abdul Rahman, and when he went to present the picture to him in his open darbar held by him, the Guru got wild and ran to beat him and drove him out. He felt sorry and dejected. He also thought that he spent so much of money and incurred his Guru's displeasure and wrath, as his Guru Baba Abdul did not like image worship. He took the unwrapped picture of Baba Rahman with him to the Apollo Bandar, and after hearing a boat took it and drowned it in a sea. He requested the friends and relations to return their copies, and after getting them six in all back, had them drowned in the Bandra Sea. At this time, Ali Muhammad was in his brother-in-law house. He was told by him that his suffering would come to an end if he would soon drown the pictures of the others and also in the sea. On hearing this, Ali Muhammad sent Mehta, his manager, to his Bandra house and got all the pictures of the saints in the house to be thrown into the sea. While Ali Muhammad returned home after 2 months, he was surprised to find Sai Baba's picture in the wall as before. He did not understand how Mehta took away all the pictures except this. He immediately took it out and kept it in a cupboard, fearing that if his brother-in-law saw it, he would do away with it. While he was thinking how it should be disposed of and who would keep it with care, Sai Baba himself, as it were, suggested to him that he should see and consult Maulana Imu Mujawar and abide by his opinion. He met the Maulana and told him everything. After much consultation, they both decided the picture should be presented to Anna Sahib Himarpant and that he would protect it well. Then they both went to Himarpant and presented him the picture in the nick of time. Thus, story shows how Baba knew all the past, present, and future, and how skillfully he pulled the wires and fulfilled desires of his devotees. The fully following story shows that Baba liked very much those who took real interest in the spiritual matters, and that he removed all their difficulties and made them happy. Stealing the rags and reading of Dhaneshwari. Mr. B.V. Dev, who was Mamladar of Dhanu, Dhanan district, wished for a long time to read Dhaneshwari, the well-known Marathi commentary on the Bhagavad Gita by Dhaneshwar, along with all other scriptures. He could read daily one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, but when he took Dhaneshwari in hand, some difficulties cropped up and he was precluded from reading it. He took 3 months leave, went to Shirdi and danced to his home at Pond for rest. He could read other books, but when he opened Dhaneshwari, some evil or stray thoughts came crowding up in his mind and stopped him in the effort. Try as much as he could, he was not able to read even a few lines of the book with ease. So he resolved in his mind that when Baba would create love for that book and would order him to read it, he would begin and not till then. Then, in the month of February 1914, he went with his family to Shirdi. There, Jog asked him whether he reads Dhaneshwari daily. They replied that he was desirous of reading it, but he was not successful, and that only when Baba would order him to read it, he would commence. Jog, he would commence. Jog then advised him to take a copy of the book and present it to Baba and start the reading after it, and was consecrated and written by him. And Dev replied that he did not want to resort to his device as Baba knows his heart. Would he not know his desire and satisfy it by giving him a clear order to read? Dev then saw Baba and offered 1 rupee as Dakshina. Baba asked for rupees 20, which he gave. At night, he met one Balakram and inquired from him as to how he secured Baba's devotion and grace. Balakram told him that he would communicate everything next day after Aarti. When they went for the darshan the next day, Baba asked for the rupees 20, which he gave willingly as the masjid was crowded. They went aside and sit in a corner. Baba asked him to come closer and sit with a calm mind, which Dev did. Then, after noon aarti was over and the man dispersed, Dev saw Balakram again and asked him his previous experiences, what Baba told him that and how he was taught meditation. While Balakram was going to reply, Baba sent one Chandru, a leaper, devotee to call Dev to him. When Dev went to Baba, the latter asked him with whom and what he was talking. He said that he was with Balakram and heard from him his fame. Then Baba asked him again rupees 25 as Dakshina, which they gladly gave. Then Baba took him inside and sitting near the post charged with saying, "You stole away my rags without my knowledge." They denied any knowledge of the rags, but Baba asked him to make a search. He searched but found none. Then Baba got angry and said, "There is nobody here. You are the only thief, grey haired and old. You came here for stealing." After this, Baba lost his temper, got terribly wild, gave all sorts of abuses and scoldings. Dev remained silent and apprehended that he might get a beating also. After about an hour or so, Baba asked him to go to the Wada. He returned to the Wada and told Jog and Balakram all that had happened. Then in the afternoon, Baba sent for all of them and said that his words might have pained the old man Dev, but as he committed the theft, he could not resist but take him to task. Then Baba asked again for rupees 12. They collected the amount, paid it, and prostrated himself before him. Then Baba said to him, "Go on reading the Pothi Dhaneshwari daily. Go and sit in the Vada, read regularly every day, and while reading, explain the portion, read to all with love and devotion. I'm sitting here ready to give you an whole gold embroidered shela, valuable shawl. Then why go to others to steal rags? And why should you get into the habit of stealing?" Dev was much pleased to hear the words of Baba, for he directly asked him to start reading Pothi Dhaneshwari. He thought that he got what he wanted and that he could read the book with ease thenceforth. He again prostrated himself before Baba and said that he surrendered himself to him and that he should be treated as a child and he be helped in his readings. He realized that what Baba meant by stealing the racks, what he asked Balak Ram constituted the racks, and Baba did not like his behavior in this respect. And he was ready to answer all the questions. He did not like him to ask others and make unnecessary inquiries. And therefore he scolded him. They thought that he really did not scold him, but thought that he was ready to fulfill his desire, and there was no use asking others in vain. They took these scoldings as blessings and went home satisfied and contented. The matter did not end here. Baba did not stop with only issuing an order to read. Within a year, he went to Dev and inquired about his progress. On 2nd April 1914, on Thursday morning, Baba gave him a dream. He sat on the upper floor and asked him whether he understood the pothi. No, answered Dev. Baba said, then when are you going to understand? Dev burst into tears and said, unless you shower your grace, the reading is my burden, and the understanding is still more difficult. Baba told, while reading, you make haste, read it before me in my presence. Dev asked, what shall I read? Baba said, read Adhyatma, spiritualism. They went to bring the book. When he opened his eyes, he was fully awakened. He left the readers to imagine what ineffable joy and bliss they felt after this vision. Go to Sri Sai, peace be with all. Sri Satchidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj ki jai. Sri Satchidananda Sadguru Sai Karnananda Maharaj ki jai. Sri Satchidananda Sadguru Jagat Guru Bal Yogirat Sai Nara Maharaj ki jai. Sai Leelavati Mata ki jai. Om Sai Ram.